We have an interesting director behind this. We have James Wan. Do you guys know who James Wan is?
Let me see. No, I'm thinking of John Woo. Never mind. No.
Yeah. No. There's no doves in this movie. You can find us on the social media, Facebook and Instagram at McBlam Entertainment. Follow us on Twitter at McBlam ENT. On the social medias, where can they find you, Hakeem?
You can find me on Twitter at Crykeem92, K for Cry, K for Keem, 2 E's, 92. You can also find me on Instagram at SUGGSH1.
Yes, where can they find you, Mr. Mojo Jojo?
Exactly where you put it. Mojo Jojo 1234, and that's Mojo Jojo with 2 O's on the end. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Or you can find them right here on McBlam Entertainment. And as we do these podcasts and everything, you can always support us by being a loyal viewer and being the loyal, awesome viewer that you are. But if you want to show just a little bit more support, you can always become a patron and support us for $1 a month. Just $1 a month. And the more you guys support us, the more content that we can bring. And to the awesome viewer, that is you. Another DC trailer, because DC released all the trailers. They were trying to be like, look, you're gonna go see our damn movies. You're gonna see at least one of them. But we got Aquaman, and I've heard some good things about this trailer. Have you guys heard anything about it?
Just watched it today, to be honest, and I honestly, in all reality, just basing it off of, the standalone film with, Man of Steel. I know people have had their mixed feelings. I enjoyed Man of Steel. Wonder Woman, like I said in the videos in the past, she bad. She bad. She real bad. And that was a great movie. So I'm hoping that Aquaman keeps it rolling.
Well, let's see if it can keep it rolling. Let's go ahead and check out the trailer, and we'll be back with our review.
Coming to the surface, and I'm bringing the wrath of the 7 seas with me.
So, let me get your guys' opinion first. What do you think, Hakeem?
Okay, so it looks. I don't think it'll be a whole lot going on because the characters that we've seen, King in here. So I'd assume that his mother did die, because in the Throne of Atlantis, Arthur's mother did not die, and she was still like the ruler of Atlantis, and Orm was just like the commanding officer or whatever of the military. So that's like, something a little bit different there. You get to see Black Manta, and I was like, whoa, you got him and Orm? It was either going to be like him being like in the end credits, or just Orm and Black Manta working together to, to defeat, Arthur. But it was, it looks fantastic from what I'm seeing.
Okay. All right. What do you think, Jojo?
Of course, this is a DC movie, but what I think of the trailer when I see it, you have the mixture of Black Panther and Thor Ragnarok. Black Panther, Arthur trying to go back and, hey, I want a title shot at, King. And then Thor Ragnarok, or not Thor Ragnarok, just in general, Thor versus Loki. 2 brothers feuding it out, trying to get the, top dog position of the kingdom. But I think with 2 possibilities, I agree with Hakeem that Black Manta is either going to work with Orin or it's just going to be a royale.
I'm thinking more along the lines of he's going to be working with Orin. The one thing I would think too much into like Black Manta, and then you kind of had like a little freak out.
Yeah, I did. I was just like, whoa, yes.
Which, I mean, it's cool that he's in here, but
yeah.
I feel like with most, and it seems like with most of even like the animated movies, Black Manta is always kind of relegated side character. He's like your what do you call him? He is like your it's a dude from Star Wars, the bounty hunter.
Oh, you're talking about Jango Fett?
Boba Fett.
Boba
yeah,
Fett.
he's like your Boba Fett. You know,
Yeah.
he's, like silent, your silent henchman or whatever. But he's not. He's a cut above the rest of the henchmen and everything. Like he's a leader in his own regard and everything.
So basically, what? Because I just saw this scene where he's just like blowing up the like a church or something,
Mm-hmm.
and you have Arthur like dive into avoid. So I think you're right. Orm was just like, hey, Black Manta, I know we've had some problems in the past, but that'll get all washed away if you go kill this guy for me.
Mm-hmm. So, me personally, part of this trailer looks really good. And I feel like the part that's going to focus more on the family drama, since, like you guys were saying about Thor and everything. I know some people did not like that part of Thor. I did. If it focuses on that, I like that part of it. I'm not really digging the origin story. I hope they don't do too much of that. At least at this point.
Yeah, that does make sense because you gotta take into account for the length of this movie. So we know they have been, they could have made it longer, but it's like, no, let's keep it to, an hour and a half, hour 45, and it'd be key parts missing that need to be there and stuff that didn't need to be there.
But I would say the rest of it, I gotta admit, like the world underwater. I'm trying to find a scene here, but like underwater looks pretty beautiful, man.
Yeah.
Like this must be where their budget went. Like it didn't go. Obviously, it didn't go into Justice League. It didn't go into Wonder Woman or anything. Like they were just like, this is the movie we need to spend the big budget on because we got to do all this stuff underwater and everything. There's the stuff above ground. I was like, yeah, we'll figure that out as we get to it. Like this is the movie that's going to be mostly CGI. So I'm like, it does. It looks pretty beautiful. I really enjoy that.
Yeah, and at times, like if they're standing still, like you don't even notice or remember that they're underwater.
Yeah.
Like what? They're underwater doing that?
Like when the whole fight scene, like you don't really realize they're underwater until you see that shockwave go through the crowd.
We have an interesting director behind this. We have James Wan. Do you guys know who James Wan is?
Let me see. No, I'm thinking of John Woo. Never mind. No.
Yeah. no, there's no doves in this movie. But James Wan has actually done mostly horror stuff. As you see, he's done the Saw movies. He's done Insidious, The Conjuring, Dead Silence and stuff. Yeah.
That is like my all-time favorite horror movie, even though it's kind of cheesy.
Mm-hmm.
Like I just like the whole ventriloquist dolls and everything, and it's just like I would sit there and watch that movie like 3 times in a row and not get bored with it.
But yeah, he's done mostly he's done mostly horror stuff. So, and he has done other things. He's done Death Sentence, so that one movie with Kevin Bacon. I don't know if you guys saw that or not.
Yeah.
And so he Furious 7, so he's no stranger to action movies. We know he's a decent director, and we know that he's a decent writer as well. Actually, does he have any involvement in the script? It doesn't look like it.
He just looks like he's a producer.
Let's see. Yeah, he doesn't look like he has any involvement in the script for Aquaman. Which wait, there it is.
Wait,
Yep, here it is. He's part of the story. Okay. So he's not he wasn't there from the beginning, so he probably put some stuff in that hopefully will make it a decent, coherent story and everything. I'm hopeful for that. because like I said, he's a good director. You know, he's done some really good stuff. And I feel like once people were just like, oh, let's do an Aquaman movie. And then he was like, people were like, I don't know. Then James Wan got on board. And then everybody was just like, hey, I want to be in this movie now.
William Dafoe.
Willem Dafoe is in this. Patrick Wilson, Nicole Kidman, Randall Park, Michael Beach, Dolph Lundgren, Ludi Lin. I'm just like, good grief. If you don't know Ludi Lin, just think back to Power Rangers, the Black Ranger. But yeah, just all of these people were just like, oh shoot, really? I'm on board now. So like, you have a big cast in this movie, and I'm like, man.
If this movie bombed, everybody would be broke.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because they paid a lot for this cast.
Yes. Yeah. And I mean, to be honest, like, they really don't spare any expense with like the cast and stuff like that. The only thing I have a problem with now with the DC movies is mainly their it went lip on you.
That's what she said.
But like the CGI, I just felt like they just weren't. I don't know, like, especially a Justice League movie, I was just like, this is really bad. This is really bad. I mean, I overlooked it after a certain amount of time, but I'm like, man, this is really bad. So it's like from the beginning, I could tell.
I think what DC's trying to do is trying to gain some redemption through their standalone movies.
And yeah, you had something good to say about that. Go ahead, because you were talking about it with us earlier. What were you saying about like DC's standalone movies?
Oh man, you had to put me on the spot. Basically, because I've watched Batman v Superman and Justice League, and like you said, it was just like, man, like it was a mess. Mm-hmm. But Man of Steel, the great origin story, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. It was definitely needed. Like I've said before, in the beginning, Wonder Woman. She bad, mm-hmm. and I'm always gonna say she bad. But mm-hmm. As a movie, it was enjoyable. Like you had your Wonder Woman, mm-hmm. and then you brought in a few side characters, and you had your villain. But you didn't have bringing in like oh man, I don't know my Justice League so far. You didn't have bringing in your Batman, mm-hmm. taking away from the story because you're trying to focus on his story,
right? And
then everybody else, you're just focusing on that character.
Mm-hmm.
Unlike Marvel, they have their thing to where they figured out the magical mixer and was just like, hey, here's the potion of being able to tell 6 different character story in one movie, where DC.
Well, if you think about it, like the way Marvel started out, it's like they started out, everyone's got their own standalone movie. And okay, now we'll bring them all together. And for this one, after this one, okay, we'll separate them out a little bit, let them, do their own thing to a certain degree. But now we're at the point now, like, okay, yeah, these guys are in each other's movies.
Yeah.
So like you have a cohesive universe where all these people exist and stuff now.
Right. They're well defined enough from being in their standalones to where they can come together.
Exactly.
And I feel like that's where DC kind of screwed up in the beginning, like you said, put out, Batman v Superman, mm-hmm. and Justice League, mm-hmm. and then now you have your standalones here and there. If you really want to bring in a fan base, give them one character at a time.
Yeah.
Because if you spend one time on that character, your fans will be like, oh, I love this about this character.
Mm-hmm.
Da, 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 da.
And then when you
when you have your big movie, your fans already know this character.
Mm-hmm.
They know that what they're going to be like,
mm-hmm.
their struggles, mm-hmm. and then. Because if you put them all together in one movie and don't give anything, you're gonna be like, okay, well, what's up with Wonder Woman? Okay, yeah. Why is Batman like this?
Yes,
and then
exactly.
when you go back to explain, and after you've done ruined that person's impression on that character, they're not even gonna want to go see the movie, and it could be an amazing movie.
Exactly. But yeah, I'm interested to see where they go with this. It doesn't seem like it's going to be anything in depth per se. There doesn't look like there's a lot of mystery in the movie other than like, okay, the whole Black Manta thing. But there's something like this whole mystery is like, I think it's probably be pretty close to what you guys were saying, just like, you know, Thor underwater for the most part, which I think that'll work. I think that works. Thor / Black Panther underwater, you know, because it's good because they're underwater. They can have their own world. They can build their own universe and not worry about anything that's going on up top and everything. So I think that's going to help out a lot when you don't have to worry about any heroes. You don't have to question anything, because that was the thing in Black Panther. You didn't have to question anything because you're just like, all right, we established earlier on that this is a hidden city somewhere. Okay, so yeah, you're not going to see any intervention from anyone else. Fine. Okay, I'm there. So I hope that they can do that with this one. And like I said, they got a lot of good people attached to it, director included and everything. So
I think out of a lot of movies, this will definitely be on top of the charts in my opinion.
I hope so.